Hey, welcome back to our program. I wrote a controversial article this week that's on our website. You can read it by going to www.jimbrownusa.com. And the title of the article was, "Can the Government Legally Kill You Without a Trial?" I'm referring to the killing of an American citizen over in Yemen here about 2 weeks ago, Anwar Awlaki, who was killed by one of these drones, unmanned drones. He's an American citizen. He is from La Cruces, New Mexico, but he has been labeled a terrorist. There is no allegation of a specific crime he's done. He is incendiary. He's on the internet, and he broadcasts many anti-American propaganda. And he's a bad apple. There's no doubt about the fact this is a bad guy. And so the question is America justified in going into a foreign country, particularly one in which we're not at war? This is not Afghanistan. This is not Iraq. This is going into Yemen, that is a friendly country. Can we just go and enter a country and kill an American without his Fifth Amendment guarantee of not depriving an accused of life, without due process of law? There are federal statutes that prohibit the assassination of an American abroad. And it's been controversial in columns by analysts on both sides of the spectrum. Many say that he should have been given a trial or had charges brought against him. Others says no, he's a bitter enemy of the United States. He is an enemy, and we should treat him as an enemy. I would have gone ahead and said the killing was justified, except for one caveat. There doesn't seem to be a process where you review these instances. Apparently, a couple of Justice Department lawyers wrote a memo saying, well, they think you can kill the guy. But there is no particular process involved that deals with issues like this that are going to come up a lot more in the future. And that would be my only concern, that do we have a process in place? I was up in Washington, D.C. last week, and at a seminar I participated in, the Washington Ideas Forum, sponsored by the Atlantic Magazine and the Aspen Institute. And Justice Antonin Scalia was there on the U.S. Supreme Court. And he was talking about the uniqueness of America. He said, the thing that makes us unique is not our Bill of Rights. He says many other countries have bills of rights guaranteeing individual citizens their protections against the government. The thing that makes us unique is the three branches of government, that we have checks and balances within those three branches, that if the Congress passes a law that's unconstitutional, you got the judicial branch there to serve as the check and balance. And all three individual branches balance out each other. And that's the uniqueness of America. Well, in this case, killing an American citizen, what was the check and balance? You know, if you go and you want to bust into someone's home, or you want to raid a car or search a drug dealer, you have to go get a warrant. You do so with a judge who signs off on it. That's the check and balance. We have a system in place that gives you the checks and balances. And in this particular instance, I didn't see any check and balance. There's not the process. You would think the Justice Department would go to the Congressional Oversight Committee on Intelligence and say, look, we may have to single out American citizens who are our bitter enemies. Now, here's the process we're going to use. We're not going to violate their rights when they become an enemy to the state. We think we have the right to take them on, and here are the parameters. Put the parameters in writing, approved by Congress. But right now, this is all done in secrecy. The president won't comment. Justice Department won't comment. They just single out an American and killed him. Well, what happens if they got a journalist that's writing a lot of nasty things, criticizing Obama and criticizing the president, criticizing the country? You go take him out? I mean, where are the lines? And there are lines, and there should be lines, and there should be a process when someone basically gives up their citizenship by attacking America. They should give up their rights, but it should be spelled out. And my concern is it's not spelled out. The other thing is you've got the using drones to kill Americans on foreign soil. Again, this attack didn't take place in Iraq or Afghanistan. We've got open warfare. It took place in Yemen. That's supposed to be a neutral country to us. So again, where do you draw the lines? What if a Mexican citizen is a murderer? He's a murderer down in Mexico. He's wanted in Mexico, but he's hiding out in Arizona. Can the Mexican military justifiably send a drone missile over the border into U.S. territory to kill the accused? I mean, that's what we did in Yemen. Can Mexico do the same thing to us? How can we say no, because isn't what good for the goose is good for the gander? And by the way, this is not all that far-fetched. Just last December, I believe, a drone was launched by Mexican police. It got out of control, apparently, ended up crashing in an El Paso neighborhood. And so you got a whole lot of problems in this unknown area, these drones. I see where 50 countries have built or bought unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. Numbers rising every month. Now, most of these are designed for surveillance, but it's becoming a growing problem with so many countries having the tech. It's not a big deal to put a missile on these drones. So now we've got the threat Israel is going to face by Arab countries in their part of the world. We've got Cuba. We're getting into a real tough issue here of how we deal with drones in particular. But going back to the terrorists, going back to Anwar al-Awlaki, an American citizen, I'd have taken him out, but I think there ought to be a procedure, and right now there's not, and I think that's a weakness in our system. If you want to check out my column, go to the website www.jimbrownusa.com. There's a flashing box right there. You can read the column. Let me know what you think. Email me. You may disagree. I'd like to hear from you right here in Jim Brown's Common Sense.